Hi, this is Sweet June coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Um, I want to talk about now. I'm not typically, I don't typically do reaction videos. I'm not a reaction channel. I don't do reaction videos. But when I do, I rarely talk about other YouTubers. When I do, I do it to make a very, very important point. I want to get a very important message across and make a very important point. So out here, Crystalline Crazen, if you guys are familiar with her, she is she's a part of the divestment community here on YouTube. Divestment community meaning black men and black women that wholeheartedly believe in expanding their options to being with other races of people. There's nothing wrong with that. When you go outside your race, you just have to make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. Because, like I said in my other video, if you haven't fixed the issues that you're having within yourself, you're going to wind up finding the same person uh, with the same issues that you found with someone in your own race. They're just a different race. So going to the other side is not always the answer. When people do that, they have to make sure that they're doing it for the right reasons. And uh, um, uh, uh, when they're consistently talking about divesting and going outside the race, you have to kind of question it, because in most cases, when they talk about that, they're talking about the reason why they're talking about it is because they're constantly harping on the issues that they feel the opposite gender of their race has, or the problems that they've had with the opposite gender of their race. They're consistently talking about that. Some of them have whole platforms just dedicated to that. And that's what they want to do. I think there's more important issues to discuss other than that, but, you know, people, do what they want to do with their channel. However, if you're familiar with Crystalline Crazen, she is a part of the divestment community here on YouTube. And she um, is believes in encouraging. I guess she was married to a white man. I'm not trying to put her down or anything or criticize her. That's not my point. I think she just recently went through a divorce, and now she's apparently dating another white man. She highly encourages black women to. Her whole platform was basically the pink pill. Was basically encouraging black women to basically expand their options. Um, there was a couple videos on here where I expressed a little bit of concern about her channel, because I thought that she was trying to discourage black women from being with black men. I don't know. I just kind of got that vibe from her. But then I looked at some of her other videos, and it doesn't appear that she's trying to discourage. That was what my concern was at one time, that she was trying to discourage black women from being with black men. But when I looked at more of her content, I realized that that's not what she was trying to do. She was just trying to encourage black women to expand their options, and let black women know that they do have options if they want to exercise those options, and basically pointing out the advantages to them expanding their options. She built quite a platform about that, and that was her whole platform. But to make a long story short, this guy that she's dating now, they was in some type of a forum, whatever. They was having some type of forum, and um, this black man came on there, and it was some type of group forum, I guess. And her and her new boyfriend was on there, and this black man came in there and said called her boyfriend an in lover, and he said, "I guess I am." And allegedly came back and said, "I guess I am an in lover." Now, like I said, I typically don't come on here, but I just felt like I had to address this. Now, because he said that, Crystal and Crazel is getting a lot of flack from black men. Uh, sh- she's getting a lot of. Uh, I really feel bad for her because she's the the um, the black men on here that like to bash black women are kind of eating that up right now. I mean, they're taking that and running with it. They're taking it basically and running with it, and then they're basically talking about her divorce and things like that. And um, I was just listening to a video where she was actually kind of chewing him out about that. To make a long story short, and she was telling him he needed to be educated and things like that. And I don't know. I'm not trying to be all up in her business, but I don't know if she's going to continue a relationship with this man. But I just want to say this. Um, when a black person, because of the history of racism and the racism that's still going on in this country, um, between black people and white people, still going on. We seem to be going backwards. It seems to be getting worse. Um, it makes interracial relationships, because of that, it makes interracial relationships between black people and white people very complicated. And I do believe that two people can fall in love, and of different races can fall in love and be together. But then there's so many other elements that they have to deal with because we have these issues between black people and white people. And of course, that's a whole nother video. But my thought is this: um, I don't think he. That's problematic to me that he felt comfortable with repeating. First of all, I didn't understand. It sounded like it's a setup to me. When I at first I didn't understand what was going on. I had to get more information because my first question is, why would a black man come on, a black man, this was a black man, why would he come on and call her white boyfriend an in lover? You know, I'm like, make it make sense. It sounded like to me it was a setup. It sounded like to me he was being set up by the black man. He was being baited by the black man to see if he was going to repeat that word. And unfortunately, he fell right into the trap. And he turned around and repeated it. And that is something that he should have never, ever, ever done. Um, like I said, I don't know if she's going to continue the relationship. I'm not here. My purpose is not, or nor is it my business to come on here and tell her what to do. But I do know this: if you are a black person and you're dating or you're in a relationship with a white person, it is never, ever, ever okay for them to use that word in your presence. They are to never use that word in your presence ever. And that was my first initial thought when I got all the facts. I was like, oh no, that's a no no. That's a no no. They are to never to use that word in your presence ever. Ever. Not even with the A on the end. Not even with the A on the end. Because to me that's problematic. That is problematic. And when he came back and he retorted back to him and said, I guess I am an in lover. That's a problem. That is a serious problem. That is problematic. And if she doesn't, my thought is if she doesn't realize how big of a problem that is, and she seemed like she was pretty upset in his last video I watched where they were having a forum and she was kind of chewing him out, to make a long story short. She was pretty upset about it. I don't know if she's going to continue the relationship, but she was talking about you need to be educated. If it was me, I wouldn't even waste my time. If it was me, I wouldn't waste my time. Because that's one of the concerns that I have about being with someone of another race. That's one of the concerns that I have. What if they get mad at me and want to call me the N word? Or how I know they ain't saying it in their head. Because of the terrible history that we have in this country between black people and white people and the racism that is still going on. A lot of ways it seems like it's going backwards. There is this. There's going to be things that need to be addressed if you're a black person and you're going to be with someone a Caucasian, when you're going to be with a Caucasian person, there's going to be some issues that need to be addressed. There's going to be issues that you guys are going to need to talk about. You got to get things straight up front. All this type of stuff. My thing is, I don't even know if I want to even go through the hassle. I prefer to stay in my own race anyway. And I kind of thought about the possibility of expanding my options at one time, but I thought about all that. Um, no, thank you. It just seems like it's too much of a hassle to me, and it's hard enough to try to maintain a relationship with someone in your own race, and then when you have someone of another race, and then all these extra elements are added to it, seems like to me it's too much to me. It's overwhelming to me, but I mean, I don't know, but to me, that to me would be a deal breaker. That would be a deal breaker for me. That would be first of all, would be a red flag. Second of all, it would be a deal breaker because if you're a black person and you're in a relationship with a Caucasian person, they are to never say that word in your presence. I don't care what context it's said in. They should never, ever, ever say that word in your context. Matter of fact, they're supposed to be against that word. They are supposed to be wholeheartedly and sincerely against that word if they are going to be in a relationship with you. And the fact that he felt comfortable with retorting back to this man and saying that's a problem to me. That's a red flag. That's problematic. And that's something that, I can't tell her what to do, but I don't see how I could be. I don't think I mean, I've heard of stories with black people being with white people and then the white person get mad at them and they use the N word. I've heard of stories like that. And in some cases they're married to them, and once you marry somebody, only scriptural grounds is adultery to divorce them, but it's complicated. But if I was her, I would be very, very concerned about that. That's a red flag. They are never, ever, if they're gonna be with you in a relationship, if they don't understand the horrible history behind that word, there's a terrible, horrible history behind that word. Black people shouldn't even be using that word. Not with the A on the end. And black people make 50 million excuses why they use it. We're taking the word back. No, 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 no. Black people shouldn't be using the word either. Black people shouldn't use it. Nobody should be using that word. Not with the R on the end, not with the A on the end. It's got too much of our people's blood on it. It has too much of our ancestors' blood on that word. It has a terrible, brutal, horrible history in this country. And especially a white person has no business letting that word come out their mouth. I don't care what reason it is. Black people shouldn't use it either. But they especially should not be using that word. They should never use that word, especially in your presence, and they call themselves dating you or be in a relationship with you. That word should never. They should be 100% against using that word, and they should not allow anyone else to use that word in your presence. They should be getting on somebody else if they use that word in your presence. That's how that's supposed to go down. And they should be 100% against using that word or that word being used in your presence. That is a no-no. That is never acceptable. And to me, that's a red flag right there. I just had to address that because I typically don't do reaction videos and stuff, but I just had to address that. He should have never felt comfortable with retorting that word back. I happen to think that I think sounds like to me it is a setup, and he fell right into it. Let me know in the comment section if you heard about this situation here on YouTube, if you heard anything about it. What are your thoughts on that situation? Do you agree with what I said? Let me know what your thoughts are on that. If you go ahead, hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the share, and hit that notification bell so every time I do a video, you will be notified. Sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. It's a deal breaker to me. All right. Till the next video, peace and love. Peace and sweet gems.